Showtime in the big city. Welcome in, everybody. It's time for three guys before the game, and all three are present and accounted for. And there's going to be a special, in just a matter of seconds, there's going to be a special guest.
Excuse me?
Yeah. We're going to go transcontinental phone call.
What is in this league?
Yeah, exactly.
You have to get an overseas call in.
Yeah, delighted. We're going to be joined here by Mountaineer baseball coach Steve Sabins after West Virginia wins yet another Big 12 Conference Series this weekend. Victorious over the Sun Devils of Arizona State. We'll talk with Steve coming up here in just a couple of shakes. Three guys before the game is brought to us by GoMart. Get yourself that GoMart Rewards card. Really download the app and immediately begin saving on your food and your fuel. Go to gomart.com for details. By Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. Three guys before the game also brought to us by Tudor's Biscuit World. Start your day the homemade way with a Tudor's Biscuit. By Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, efficient for 25 years. By Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law, they won't take no for an answer. By Conley CPA Group, providing value beyond numbers. And by WVU Medicine, the official exclusive healthcare provider for all Mountaineers, including you. Coming up on our program, we are going to talk baseball right off the bat here, no pun intended, with Steve, but also we've got Mountaineer basketball spreads on stats. West Virginia getting ready to take on the Cardinal of Stanford. I mean, just another typical West Coast. I mean, that's what West Virginia does now. We just basically play in the West. If it's not 3 hours away from home time-wise, then we just don't go.
Big 12 conference game again. Just got done getting a series in the Pac-12 there. Yeah. Now we'll just go basketball Pac-12.
Yeah.
We're going to West Virginia's going to have to open like a satellite campus in, I don't know, pick a Midwest city, St. Louis or something.
No, might as well just
that's, not far, that's not far enough west.
Yeah, just go out to the west.
Got to go further.
Denver?
Yeah, that's fine.
Further. You're not even close in Denver.
Spokane?
You're just getting warmed up in Denver.
Please welcome to the program the head baseball coach of your West Virginia University Mountaineers, Steve Sabins. Good afternoon our time. Good morning to you, sir.
Morning, boys. How's it going?
Good. Have you? I mean, heck, you have to file taxes now out there now. You guys been out there so long?
Yeah, it's been a good trip. It took a couple days to get used to. On Saturday, it was like the first time in 10 years we had a night game. After the time change, you're up till 2 a.m. You lose Friday night, so you don't sleep great. So I took a nap on Saturday for the first time in 10 years. But I feel like I'm adjusted. I'm on West Coast time. We're eating burritos and tacos. We're chilled out here, and then tomorrow we get to play Arizona.
Yeah, what a weekend, as you said. Friday night you didn't sleep well into Saturday. You equaled the amount of hits with Arizona State on Friday night. Each had 13 hits, but they had a couple of big boy bangers, and they win that first game. And 14-4, finally you got 10 run after 10 running BYU and Baylor in the previous 2 weekends. You had a 10 run. You get 10 run, and then you go out and you go, okay, got to win the middle game to at least be able to have a chance to salvage and win the series. And you go out on Saturday, and you put two hands around their throat early and then just began applying pressure. You choked them out early.
Yeah, and it was a huge weekend, and the 10-run game probably looks a little bit worse than it was. We certainly did some great things, and Montesa competed well. And when you get down early in the first game of a series, you got to use your bullpen wisely. And so if you run out some of the most successful or experienced pitchers early, you don't necessarily give yourself a chance to win a series. And when you show up on the road against a top 25 opponent and one of the greatest programs all time, you're just playing to win that series. You're playing to do everything to showcase what our team is and what we're about and to win ball games. And so we had to pitch some guys that didn't have a lot of experience on Friday night, which is awesome for them, allows them to grow, allows them to be in those moments to get better. And if they pitch great and they kick ass, then you're in the game and you got a chance to win the game. And we didn't do that necessarily, and so that's where the game gets stretched out a little bit. But our bullpen was ready for Saturday and Sunday. Our starters are ready for Saturday, Sunday. Maxiel came up huge once again, winning that middle game. And we said after Friday night, it was just we got one focus. That's to win Saturday, and when we do, we got a chance to win a series and win a big one on the road, and that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, and so you come back on Sunday there to go ahead and win that series, Steve, and we'll get into that one because I thought there were some unbelievable individual performances, but just team-wise, coming down 1-0, you get the big grand slam from Sean Smith, but even more than that, how about the showcase of that game on the first Sunday with no Sunday night baseball on ESPN? This game's on ESPN2, ranked on ranked, and you walk out of there with the big win, so heck of a showcase in addition to getting the win and winning the series.
It was cool. I think for me, it was especially cool Sunday because we really did what we do. We played the highest level defense that somebody could ask for. We ran the bases as well as anybody could run the bases. I think we had 4 stolen bases. We stole home. We showcased our speed, and then we had these relentless at-bats that just continued to stretch. We barreled balls up that were caught. We had awesome at-bats. Nothing really fell for us early, and then we had this kind of nasty, gritty inning where we got bases loaded. Sean Smith came up, and then our first hit with a runner in scoring position was a grand slam. So it's kind of that, like, just wear you down. Honestly, this team is shaping out to be a little bit like old school West Coast teams where just the at-bats are good 1 through 9. The defense is super solid. The pitching is crisp with experience out of the bullpen. So I think it was good for me because it felt like we showcased who we were, and arguably for us, probably the biggest game of the season, right? It's a series deciding game on national TV against a great opponent.
Coach, right now, West Virginia is leading the league in pitching. ERA, 3.99, that's at the top. You've given up 103 runs. That's the fewest of anybody in the league. You've given up 22 home runs. That's the fewest of anybody in the league. Going into the season, you had to go out and get a lot of pitchers, and one of the pitchers that you were counting on, you all parted company with. So are you surprised that your pitching efficiency is as good as it is at this point?
I don't know if you'd ever expect to be best in how many teams are in this league now? 14 or I don't know. Yeah.
Just added a couple more today.
We picked up a couple. I don't know if you ever expect that, but we knew we were going to be talented. We knew we had some returning arms. There are some things that maybe the outside didn't see, right? Like Max Yell, who didn't even pitch last year. I don't think he's on anybody's radar. He's on nobody's draft boards. The fans don't know he's even in the program still. But us getting him to return and turn down the draft this summer was one of those moments where you're going, okay, that just put us in a different stratosphere compared to some of our peers. So we certainly had an idea that the pitching was going to be okay. But then you add 3 Division II starters, you add portal guys, and you're banking on upside and what our staff's ability to develop guys are. And the staff that we have here is special. We need to keep these guys in Morgantown. We need to keep them motivated to be here because we just have a special group of people that enjoy what they're doing and are in it for the right reasons. And so fired up for the pitching staff for sure.
Let's talk about a couple more individual performances. We'll stay on the pitching staff there because Perez has been an unbelievable dude for you guys so far. And, man, how about him last night? You've been using him in a closer. Well, he closed the thing, but he did it over 3+ innings, 3 2/3. Came in. His stuff's electric. Where did this guy come from, and how good has he been?
Yeah, he's out of control, guys. He's totally out of control. We saw it in the kind of once we got back from Christmas break leading up to the season. He had like 6 or 7 incredible appearances in a row against our own team. And it wasn't just good. It wasn't like a freshman. Yeah, he's throwing strikes. He's got big velo. It was like the crispest innings, striking out 3 guys every outing. I was going, I think we have a pretty decent offense, and he's just absolutely mauling our own team on a consistent basis. And so you eventually see enough where you don't care that he's a freshman or that he was a shortstop in high school or any of those details. It's just your eyes aren't lying at a certain point. And so we've just put him in some games early on, and then we put him in bigger moments, and it's just you watch enough baseball in this league and you watch enough film, you're just going like, you don't see this very often. So we need to make sure that we get our best pitchers in the game the most often. And so we ripped that Band-Aid off with the freshman that was a shortstop with limited experience early. And we've been kind of riding it, and it's worked out great because just from a pitch count perspective, being a closer, you don't throw as many pitches, but we've got him some multiple outings. And then we've got his pitch count up a little bit. And then he didn't pitch the first 2 games. And so when we got in our first jam of the night on Sunday, when we were up 4-1 and we had some base runners on, we went to Perez because we said, well, what are we going to wait around until they hit the 2 or 3 run homer? Let's end this now. If we need to go to somebody later in the game and it's nut crunching time, that's fine. But we're going to go to Perez here early. And he kind of started cooking and got going. Then we were able to stretch that lead, and so he finished out the game and saved our bullpen for an important Tuesday game that we have tomorrow against Arizona.
Yeah,
great call.
When you go out there and chat with him, you had to make a visit to him. When you look into his eyes, and I'm sure it varies all the time. Like you see a little something there, you got a little dog there, don't you?
Oh,
yeah.
There's
he hasn't asked you to leave the. He hasn't asked you to leave the mound yet, has he?
No, he's a sweetheart, man. He's like big energy, sweetheart, happy, but fiery. Like he wants to kill the opposing team. And you saw that after that first inning when he got out of it. He had like an out-of-body experience. He's always with our team. He's always rooting for us. When he wins, it goes directly to the West Virginia on the jersey in our dugout. He's not in the other dugout. But yesterday, he got the big strikeout in the big moment, and he had some words to say to the opposing hitter. And he actually got warned last night. Ooh. So one more warning, he would have been ejected, and I would have been ejected. But that's a little bit, I guess I was happy to see that because it wasn't like a predetermined, I'm going to, be an idiot to the other team. It was just like this raw emotion came out where he was like letting that particular hitter know that he was better than them in the moment. When I go out there and I tell him the situation, hey, it's bases loaded, the winning run's up, you have 1 out, he just says bet, and he looks at me in the eyes, and then I walk off the mound.
Coach,
that's where that guy's at.
That's good to hear. Coach Gavin Kelly, I think he had 3 hits yesterday. He's batting a gaudy .431. I think he's number 3 in the league right now. He has a slugging percentage of .716, on-base percentage of .516. Is he seeing the seams now? What's going on with him?
Yeah, he's in a great spot. The craziest thing you just said is that he's hitting .431 and he's 3rd in the league. I'm not sure how that happens, but we saw one of those dudes leading off for Arizona State that he was on a different planet.
Hairston?
Yeah, I mean, it's like Babe Ruth. I haven't seen Babe
that before.
Ruth comparison. What's that guy doing?
Yeah, solid move on your part to give him the walk there. We don't want anything to do with it. Just move him ahead. Move him ahead.
Yeah, at a certain point, it's like negligent to throw him a strike.
Seriously.
He hit 4 homers, and I mean, we put a guy in scoring position by walking him. Like, you don't see that very often. It's like, and Barry Bonds' ass is on the wall.
Yeah.
Arizona State, I'm going like, that's how we're treating this guy right now.
Sure. Hey, let's do one more defensive performance because I still continue to be amazed. I don't know what else we can do to talk about Armani Guzman and all the different things he's done, but another stroke of genius by you guys. You move him over at first base, and I know that's in order to get his speed and his bat in the lineup, and he came through with hits again. But, dude, how about the defense on this guy last night? He makes a diving catch from first that might as well have been in left field. He had to run so far. And then, that short hop he made and the turn and throw to Perez to get the guy at first, that's a veteran Gold Glover has trouble with that play. And this dude banged out some defense for you last night.
Yeah, Brett, that's what I told the team last night in the huddle. I don't ever use this term. I think it's the first time I've ever used it to the team. I was like, that was a Gold Glove performance. It was one of the best first base performances that I've ever seen. The ball that he caught around second base, just no other first baseman in the country gets to it. I mean, there's also no other NFL running backs playing first either.
Right.
But yeah, getting to that ball and then that spin throw, and it's like one of those short touch feels where it's not like you can just be a raw athlete with a good arm. You have to have feel in your fingertips, and you have to be able. It's a precision throw, and then the pick that he had late in the game when Tyrus Hall short hopped him up the line. Those are just kind of like the 3 check marks of could you do this to be the best first baseman in the country? And like I said, he had never played first until we put him over there this year in the spring. And it was more, I don't know, stroke of genius might be a little bit generous there. I think it was more based on trying to get the right 9 guys in the lineup and on the field with the right athletes. And so we weren't afraid to do it, certainly, but it was like, hey, how do we make this work? And to his credit, it's the egoless kind of mindset. It's what do I need to do for the team, right? Cresser's at first, and Guzman's at first, and Kelly's catching, and Kelly's at second, and Gravelin's catching, and he's in left. And you have these kids that are like, yeah, I'm trying to just get in the ball game, Skip. Just put me where you need me, right? And that's not always the case. So I think that's probably the bigger story.
Yeah. Guzman might think it's just the greatest thing in the world. Like you said, hey, you get to use this big fat mitt now. And he goes, oh, heck, I get to use, right? I get to use this one? Oh, this will make it even easier for me.
Well, it has been.
I'm at Scoop.
He's been awesome.
Yeah, that Scoop was big boy. That was huge. All right, so tomorrow, non-conference game against a conference school. Why not? Because Hoppy's really struggled with this concept. I've had to bring it to him twice, once on flashcards. But it's a single game against Arizona that doesn't count in the league standings, but it's certainly, and I know they're a little bit down right now, but it will certainly enhance your conference or your non-conference schedule, your overall schedule strength, I should say.
Yeah, and it's actually the world had to align for it to work out. We had to be playing Arizona State. We had to not have them scheduled for a conference series this year, so they're one of the 3 teams that we miss. It had to be Easter weekend and we had to have not been able to get home late, change times from a 3-hour time change to then want to play on a Tuesday. We couldn't get home in time, and no one wanted to play us on a Wednesday because they're all playing Easter starting a Thursday series in our region. So we just, there's literally no choice unless you wanted to play a ball game. They're a super talented team that hasn't been playing great, so that's kind of where Arizona's at.
It would have been easier to schedule the Diamondbacks for a game, I think.
There's no doubt, and even finding an opponent out here was awesome, and it's good for our team. It's we didn't get a spring break. Our spring break games got canceled because of a terrible thing that happened inside of that Radford program, and so this felt kind of like a trip. The guys are getting to hang out, and we have night games each night, so it's kind of like that big league feel where they get a breakfast, they get a workout, they go out, have lunch together, and then you get to play all night. And so it's a cool trip for them, I think, bringing our team together as well.
Yeah, one last thing for you. And by the way, I think if you would have looked far enough around like Tempe, you could have spotted the Canisius bus because they're just rolling around. This time
they're on a Lou Wendell.
They're just toting around, just waiting for a team to play. But hey, that's beside the point. Anyway, it sets up a unbelievable opportunity this Easter weekend. You've got UCF currently in first place. West Virginia's currently in second place. Boy, these are the kind of games and series you dream about, right?
Yeah, great. 2 great teams going at it at home. We need the place packed. I don't think there's any reason why that's not a sold-out crowd, and we're jamming guys in there and fire marshals making sure that no more bodies can get in there. It's just an awesome opportunity for our program this upcoming weekend.
Yeah. All right, my friend.
Hold on real quick before we let him go. I know he's got to get out of there. Real quick, your thoughts on the MVP performance of J.J. Weatherholt to start his career in the show.
Come on,
my God.
JJ. Let's go.
What in the world, man?
Yeah, just you want to talk about Perez being a dog and Kelly and those kind of guys. He's a kid that rises to the occasion. The moment isn't a thing, and it's humble, and it's rooted in faith, and it's comfortable in his own skin, and he surrounds himself with the right people, and I just couldn't say enough good things about him. But he's a special person, and I think he's a very, very special person for WVU and WVU alumni. he's the right guy to root for. He's everything that you want your son to be, and he's somebody that I think for Mountaineer Nation, like, that's a pretty special thing that we're getting to watch right now. And you see in these videos with the Cardinals and their players, how they talk about him. They're like, this is a little brother that I'm going to protect because he's better than everybody. He's more grounded than everybody. He's as smart as anybody. It's like people root for him. He's got that charisma and that energy that's just so unique. So he's kind of that gift that keeps giving to all of us, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well said.
All right, my man. Thank you again so much for your time. We appreciate it. Best of luck tomorrow, and then we'll see you here this weekend.
All right, guys. Have
Thanks
a good
much.
day.
All
right. Thanks,
Take
guys.
care.
Good luck.
Thanks,
There he is, Steve Sabins. West Virginia will climb, you would think, in the national rankings. Now, there's like 32 different organizations, right, that have polls in baseball. Mm-hmm. But West Virginia were 17 last week, and so you'll elevate up. Arizona State was 22, and just some great theater, some great stuff. And again, strongly encourage, if you do have the opportunity this weekend, I know it's Easter, but Friday, Saturday, you can, even if it's not Sunday, Friday, Saturday, come on in. I think the weather's supposed to be idyllic.
All right.
Don't underestimate that platform last night either. You know, Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN has been a thing for how long? Mm-hmm. It's not anymore. They don't have the package on Sunday nights. That game on ESPN2, there was a lot of chatter nationally about just the showcase, the production value of that, having a Sunday Night Baseball game, even though it wasn't Major League Baseball. It was two ranked teams, and then for West Virginia to be the one that walks out of there, heck of a showcase there.
Yeah, you can't buy that. You can't buy that. And then the way they did it, they had the breakout inning with the grand slam, and then they just kept punching them, ding, ding, and then ding, 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 ding at the end. Say, see you later. Our boy Jason Benetti, by the way, has the new Sunday Night Baseball package on NBC.
Oh, really?
I like what they're doing. NBC is using the visiting and home teams analysts to work with Benetti each week. So like last Thursday, he was doing a Dodgers game, and Oral Hershiser came in and served his color, and I forget who else they had brought in from the other team. But that's a good way of doing that, because that's perfect for Benetti, because he can talk with anyone, and he gets us that'll be good stuff.
So that's on Peacock here for the first few weeks. It was Peacock last night, if I'm not mistaken.
Peacock, was it? So it's not on the big boy?
No, because NBC has the Sunday Night NBA package there. That guest analyst thing, I think Apple's the one that started that a couple of years ago. It's an interesting move and a way to bring some hometown people into the national broadcast.
They used to do it on radio, and I think they might have done it back in the day when Joe Garagiola and Tony Kubek, I think maybe they would bring a middle inning guy from the different team would come in. It's like, hey, Biff, tell us about your ball club.
Yeah, they did. Apple just did it here in the last couple of years. That's where that idea came from. Yeah.
Three Guys Before the Game, brought to us by Tudor's Biscuit World. Start your day the homemade way with a Tudor's biscuit. And right now, that super breakfast, we just call it the TSB, the super breakfast. What do you get with that thing? Well, the eggs, any way you want them, made your way, your choice of meat, crispy taters, and a homemade buttermilk biscuit that's as big as a manhole cover.
Well,
homemade gravy throughout the course of the day. So check it out. When you're driving around, it's breakfast time. Go to Tudor's Biscuit World. Three Guys also brought to us, and Steve made mention of this, Lou Wendell Marine Sales. He knows that Canisius now has the bus, and they're pulling a Lou Wendell pontoon. It is boating season quickly approaching. If it's time for servicing of your craft, or if it's time to make the investment into any kind of gear or equipment that you need, or a new boat, why not them? They are the only Honda Marine premium dealership in the state of West Virginia. That new Honda McLaren racing motorboat engine, and those Avalon pontoons, that's the only ones they sell, because they're 100% manufactured in the United States. It's the Avalon pontoon boats. Check them out. Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Visit them at LouWendellMarineSales.com. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com.
It's probably those pontoons they use when they're doing their East Coast. They can start up in Jersey and go down. If Maryland needs a game, they holler at them. Maryland Eastern Shore's right there looking out. You head down to Myrtle, coastal Carolina. You can pick them up. You can go down into Florida.
Out west, they probably put it in at Lake Mead and take the Colorado River and can go
They'll
to a
do
number
some
of
river
places.
stuff. They'll do that. I wouldn't be surprised they put it just right on the Grand Canyon, just down the river.
Yeah.
You were there that one time with a mule, weren't you?
I was. Took the mule trip.
Pretty good?
Down about. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Think of the things you've done away from home with animals. Elephants. Seriously, elephants, donkeys.
Well, he got that horrific sickness with the damn monkey on his
Yeah.
head.
Oh, they
And
made
gave
you
it to me.
sick. They
Gave
made
it to
Ren Baker sick.
Patient 0.
Had a snake around my neck. Gave it. Ren's not. I think Ren still.
He's a little under the weather.
I think he still might be a little bit.
Let's do this right
He's
now.
got thoughts that sound brand new.
Oh, yeah. Hoppy's obvious observations. That's right. Look at that. Pull the light.
Heaven knows, let's make it quick before his ladder blows. It's Hoppy's obvious observations.
Yeah, baby.
I have 3, maybe 4, about this basketball game coming up, and Brad will break down the stats. Coach Hodge said, or you guys, he picked up on what you guys said. It's like a bowl game. The season's over, and then there's a layoff, Brad. Then you go play the bowl season, so you have a chance to end on a winning note. I'm going to say something that's going to be somewhat controversial here.
In obvious observations, you're going controversial?
WVU is better off this season playing in this tournament than the NCAA tournament. If they had gotten in the NCAA tournament, they would have just barely gotten in, probably got a really bad seed, probably not gotten past the first round. I'm not saying they wouldn't have. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen, but it would have been a tough draw. You might have been, odds are you would have been one and done after the crowded first day. You get lost in the shuffle. It just is, okay, you made the tournament, but you were only there a few hours, really, if you lost in the first round.
He made a lot of leaps right there.
I did. There are.
He made a lot of assumptions. Do we have to agree with those assumptions?
No, you don't.
Maybe a few. These are just.
No, you don't.
May have made a few generalizations.
It is.
But it's his opinion, and this is his opinion time.
But in this tournament,
obviously,
you got a chance for these players to pick up $300,000.
He's obsessing on this money.
I know that's real money. Now, I know some of them, they're getting paid money now, but I don't care how much you're getting paid. You never have enough money. This could help Honor cover the cost of getting number 3 or number whatever it was.
It probably would help defer that expense that he had.
If he gets the NIL money from this, oh, good. Now that helps cover the Jasper expense of getting this money. So you got a chance to get some real money here for these players in an environment where you're evenly matched with these teams. Now, Brad will break this down, but you're pretty evenly matched. You're not facing Duke, although
may not be the best analogy right now.
No, so this is
Arizona or Michigan.
Yeah, okay. Whew. But
both pretty good.
And you're going to be on, your first game's going to be on Thursday. You guys will be there in your FS1. There's no other games no NCAA games at night. So you got a good platform. So I think for this team, for this season, you're better off in this tournament now than in the NCAA. That's going to be my argument. Brad will counter that, I'm sure.
Might scream at you, but go ahead.
Yeah. Second point, and Brad will talk about Ibuka Okori. It starts with him, and he's what? I'm not
just listening to you. Go ahead.
Okay,
You'll give all his stats here.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to give any of his stats. You can handle all of that.
Continue on.
In that he's a dude. He's a dude, and can make the 3, can penetrate.
You're giving stats.
I'm not giving stats. I'll leave that to Brad.
You just say he made 3s.
He's a player. He's a player, and as Coach Hodge said on this program, on the last program, just make it hard for him. So Brad will explain how you make it hard for him. I'm not going to get all up in your zone.
That'd be a first.
When I was checking stats, first thing I did, reveal my ignorance. I went to the Big Ten because I forgot Stanford was in the ACC.
It is an unusual pairing. I will give you that. To be in the ACC.
I went to the Big Ten. I thought, well, they left them out. Why are they not in there?
No, they weren't asked to come along.
They're in the ACC. Okay.
Well, sure they would be. Why wouldn't they be in the ACC?
So they had road trips to Virginia Tech, I guess they combined those, Miami, Florida State, Boston College, Wake Forest, NC State.
So stupid.
Those were the road games.
So stupid.
Crazy.
Just the stupidest of stupid.
Can you imagine? Up and down season, you guys will get into that. Had some good wins, had some bad losses. Listen to this. So Kyle Smith, their head coach in his second year, this is what Kyle Smith emphasizes. Defensive efficiency, slower pace, good shots late in the clock, fewer possessions. Did somebody put up a mirror on that? Is that just like...
It's not an unusual play. Iowa did pretty well with that in the tournament.
Yeah.
Connecticut does pretty well with that in the tournament.
So
Kyle Smith's a Todd Golden disciple. They like to do that. So, yeah, that's a popular theory.
he's accused of doing nerd ball. That is a thinking man's game.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a fascinating matchup just to sit and watch the chess, not checkers, but chess that goes on in this game. The only other thing was you guys mentioned, Weatherholt, you can't. That would be a great start for a veteran all-star.
Crazy.
Disney movie.
To come out, hit a dinger, and then have a game-winning hit. The second game had a hit yesterday.
Walk-off.
Yeah, walk-off. So
Walk-off. Stole a base. Had a great leap and catch. Defenseman just did it all. Just literally displayed every skill that he brought to the table.
And this is so bittersweet for you.
Oh, it bums me out. Not bittersweet.
It's
a challenge, yeah.
Because
I've been through it before. It seems like every Mountaineer that gets drafted ends up at the Cardinals. I'm a giant Cubs fan, for those who don't know. So, yeah, when Jed was playing for the Cardinals, it's a constant back and forth.
Just hurt you.
Want them to do extremely well. If there's a way for them to be great and the team to not be good, that'd be ideal. But I like when he gets game-winning hits.
Understood.
It's easier to root for
wait till
early.
Wait till he beats the Cubs for the first time.
That'll be a problem.
Smashes one out of Wrigley and just does a bat drop and looks over. What's up?
I need some of my guys to get up with the Cubs there. Then we can really roll.
So what you want is for Weatherholt to go 3 of 5 and have a dinger, but the Cubs win 9-7.
Yeah.
Okay.
He'd be all right with that.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, he'd be all right.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
a
I got.
heck of a start for him.
That's what I got.
Thank you, Hoppy. We
welcome.
certainly do appreciate that. Good weekend overall. You had a good weekend.
Yeah. Had a great
big
weekend.
Had a big cooking weekend.
I had to text. I had a good cooking
You had
weekend.
a good cooking weekend, which is fantastic.
I had to text you.
Did I? Yeah, I
Pictures.
told Brad. I told you too, right?
What?
I may have overeaten this weekend.
The ice cream. You didn't eat all that yourself, right?
I did. And the picture did not do it justice.
How did you eat all of that yourself?
It was absolutely, dude. If you could have seen that picture, does not show how big that is. I went to Sarah's up in Canonsburg.
Of course you did.
If you haven't been to Sarah's, you gotta go to Sarah's, get ice cream.
Sorry.
But I'm doing the math on this. Sarah's. One of their scoops, I think, is 3 regular scoops. I really do. I think I think one of their scoops is 3 regular scoops. I had what was called Three's Company. So basically, I'm doing the math. I think I had 9 scoops of ice cream.
But not only that.
Oh, the fudge, the
whipped cream,
the strawberries.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
And I'm serious about this. Because, you're a food guy, but you're also a health guy.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
It was Joan's birthday. It was Joan's birthday.
Well, Joan's birthday, so you that is the worst excuse I've ever heard.
That's right. That's a right on brand for him.
Well, I brought her ice cream. She was born in Canada.
Her birthday, so it was about him.
Right.
That's about how it works, right?
Yes.
Her birthday, honey, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go get this, and I'm going to eat more than anybody else gets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Her birthday's about him.
If she was here right now, she'd say you're absolutely right.
I
That's
know.
exactly what it was.
But also, the question stands. Because you get into cooking and food and good food, and then you go and you make a pig of yourself.
I did. I went off the wagon. What are you laughing about? You've been off the wagon? What are you laughing
I don't
about?
profess to be on the wagon like you. Like he had to be all
Exactly.
holy,
Yes,
high and mighty
yes.
with us all. Saying,
I don't
I'm
eat
not
that.
I'm not going to have that. Well, you have that. I'm not going to have that. I can't have that. I'm watching my right.
Yes.
Shames
Exactly.
everybody else.
Yes.
And then when it's time for him to eat, then he goes bananas.
Yes. Exactly.
I got it. I know.
Tell you what, if they would have put bananas on that, it would have really been.
But why? But no. One, and I'll let it drop. At that moment, what are you thinking?
Okay, I'll tell you, dude.
Okay.
It was 3 scoops of ice cream. I forgot that they do stupid sizes of ice cream. It was a myth. And you can't ask her, could you put more back? Once it's there, and I'm not going to not eat it.
So you would not leave any.
It was about 5:30 or 6 o'clock. No, it was about 5 o'clock at night. I did not feel right until 10:30 that night. 10:30. Did not feel right till 10:30.
It's also him not paying attention to details.
Exactly.
He goes in and just orders something, right? Doesn't know what they're giving him. They gave him half the store.
At least you felt bad for 5 hours.
I'll never do it again.
Did look good.
Oh yeah, till the next time.
I'll never do it again.
Looked really good.
3 Guys Before the Game
good.
is brought to us by Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law. They won't take no for an answer. They specialize in veterans affairs, Social Security claims, and personal injury. Veronica was a client, and she wrote the following. I can't rave enough about Jan Dill's attorneys at law. I was denied before, so this time I chose to be represented. Everyone was so helpful, even spending hours on the phone, filling out paperwork because I was not able to use my hands. I was able to focus on learning to walk again because everything else was taken care of. Thank you so much. Your help has truly changed my life for the better. So if you or someone you know is in need of legal help, whether that be a personal injury case or whether it be VA benefits, Social Security claims, by all means, contact Jan Dill's attorneys at law, based in West Virginia, but clients in all 50 of our states. They're literally all over the country. Jan Dill's attorneys at law. They won't take no for an answer. Three Guys also brought to us by Gomart. Go for good times. Go for Gomart. Download the app. We had the Reese Cup deal. The vinyl value day. We'll let you know what April's day is and what the product is going to be, but you got to bang those rewards points. They're going on right now. Download the app, and it's just kind of fun. It's kind of like a game when you walk in. You get it when you get fuel. You get points when you buy items, and it just adds up, and then you just check them off, and ding, ding, ding.
Gives you free stuff.
Free stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Free stuff. All right, time now after Hoppy came right to the edge of giving some of Brad's stats.
I stopped.
He backed off, and it's time now for spreads on stats. Yeah.
So I checked the numbers.
But his,
We'll just go right to the numbers. Here comes the heater.
mine would have been obvious. His are,
Jump into the analytics portion of the show. Ready?
Spreads on Stats is brought to us by the Conley CPA Group. They won't take no for an answer because they just go like, wait a second. We provide value beyond numbers. They're more than a full-service accounting firm. They are your guides, your business partners. You walk alongside, say, okay, how do we got to do this? What do we need to do here? What's the best way to do this? What's the best way to do that? That's what they've been doing literally for decades, based right here in West Virginia. Clients across the state of West Virginia. If you need some help, whether it's taxes or any kind of accounting, let them know. They can also do outsource of your accounting for your business. You want to do a little of your accounting, that's fine. You want them to do all of it, a little bit of it, just give them a call. Conley CPA Group. Do you have a map here for how to win this game?
Yeah, I'll get to some keys. Let's start, though, which I normally don't do. Usually we go team down into individuals, but I do think you have to start with a Corey.
Corey?
I mean, my goodness, guys. First of all, Duke basketball is heavily in the news here today as we record this on Monday. He looks like a young Tommy Amaker. Have you seen a straight-on shot of this guy? Looks very similar facially to Tommy Amaker did at Duke. Dude, this falls under Hoppy's obvious observations. It can score at all three levels. He is electric. His stop and start is outstanding. So he's difficult to stay in front of, but if you give him any space, he'll stick the three right on you. This is going to be a real challenge. You're going to have to show him a lot of different jerseys. You can't let him split gaps. This will be a challenge, and it's another good freshman. I think every player in college basketball this year is a freshman, and they're all going to be lottery picks.
Exactly.
Every one of them.
Everyone.
It's unbelievable. This kid's another
95 people in the lottery this year.
He's either a multi-million-dollar player in college next year or he goes in the pros. I mean, he's dynamic.
Oh,
Stanford's worried to death that
he's a $2+ million guy.
That's what I said, multiple millions a year.
$2+ million guy next year.
Let's stay on him for a second. He just does everything well. He's great in transition. He's top 10 nationally coming out of a timeout. So look for him to be used out of that timeout, and he's hard to stop in those situations. He's top 10 points per possession off pick and rolls. He's top 13% nationally in points per possession in ISOs. So he's going to ISO. He's going to pick and roll you. He's 37% from three. He's outstanding. Here's something to keep an eye on, Hoppy. You ready?
Yeah.
You want to get in the weeds?
Yes.
Likes to drive left. And when he does, he's going to the basket. 80% of his drives left go to the basket, and he's shooting it when he goes left to the basket. 80% of his left-hand drives end in shots. Here's a concerning stat. He's only turned it over once when he goes left to the basket.
Excuse me?
Pretty good.
Walk me. Hey, 1 second. So when you say a drive, that's not necessarily meaning a paint touch. It's just he's going to go left. So he could pull up mid-range. He could pull up 16 feet away. He's going to go left. He's going to shoot it.
Yeah, but he's trying to get to the basket if he can. He likes to go left when he does that. This is where this guy in particular, so this is where you watch the Amir injury and you watch it defensively. So Jasper is, as I've said all season long, as good as there is on-ball defender. It's not like he's seen lottery picks in front of him at the guard position. We've seen it almost every night, a pro at the point guard position, and Jasper's done exceedingly well in those matchups. He's going to need some help in this one. You're going to have to pack that lane on him and make him shoot it on a mid-range or three, and if he does, so be it. But if Jasper has either early fouls or just foul trouble in general, that's where it gets a little bit more difficult, is there's no Amir to come in and try and harass him as a backup, either to spell Jasper or to choose some clock if Jasper gets into foul trouble. I would expect Mo Ugasuk to get some significant minutes here and match up against a Corey quite a bit.
Mo's my guy.
There's a guy in the league that may surprise you that's number one individually against the pick and roll defensively.
Who would that be, Brad?
The name I just said, Mo Ugasuk. Now, it's small, it's limited possessions, I get it. So that's one of those stats that might be skewed a little bit, but I think you're going to ask Mo to be the guy that comes in and matches up on a Corey when Jasper's not on him. So that's something to watch. If you're looking for a way to victory, you've got to make it difficult, as Coach Hodge says. If he's 6 of 22 from the floor, you're probably in this game and have a good shot to win it. If he goes off on you and you're having trouble containing him, then obviously you're looking the other way.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
Mo, you just made the defensive stat there. Offensively, I'm gonna go to bed with this one. I'm saying this. Two things. One, he hit 46 3-pointers last year at South Carolina. I don't know what he's got this year, maybe 10 or 12. But in practice here over the last several days, he is scorching it. So I'm going to be the first. Remember where you heard this first. If Mo goes off, it's because he's been practicing really, really well. Don't be surprised, because he's going to have to play 20-plus minutes.
Okay. Keep an eye on it.
High usage for a Corey. It's basically two guys for them offensively. He is one, and then Benny Gieler's another guard, 6'1". He's more of the shooter. We talked about this stat earlier. There's 22 players in college basketball that have played 4 years at the same school. This dude's one of them. Been at Stanford for 4 years, so he's one of those 22 in Power 4 that have played for all 4 years. He had the 11th best offensive rating in the ACC during conference play, 23rd nationally in all games. So he's a high usage, high shooter. He's a three-point sniper, 42% from three. He's the top 1% nationally in points per possession in the last 4 seconds of the clock. And I'm going to get to that, because that is generally West Virginia's defensive advantage. They force these teams into final second shots in the clock.
Right.
Stanford's pretty good at it, and this guy's really good, so that's going to be an area to watch. He's also big coming out of timeouts. Again, no surprise, because it's he and a Corey that are coming out of timeout, so you're going to have to watch these guys in particular. Team overall, let's get into some Stanford stuff. They are very good from three-point land this season, 5th in the ACC, 35% shooters in conference play. West Virginia is 1-6 on the season when teams shoot 35% or better from three.
Say that again?
1-6 when teams shoot better than 35% from three. That's right on what Stanford's conference game average was. So watch the three-point line. West Virginia held 11 conference opponents to 33% or less from three. So this is one of those, Hop, if you were listening to national guys on this breakdown, they're going to look at West Virginia and say West Virginia doesn't guard the three very well. It's in the bottom 100 teams in opponent three-point percentage. And there were certainly some games this year, Xavier being one, where we saw teams light West Virginia up from three. But if you look at that stat I just gave you, 11 of the 18 opponents you held under 33%, which is where you want to be. So this team does guard the three pretty well, but there has been moments when we've seen the three really hurt West Virginia. That would be something to watch. Stanford not good from two, however. 14th in the ACC in two-point percentage, and they're getting a West Virginia defense that was elite in this area all season. 11th nationally in two-point percentage defense. West Virginia held 10 out of 18 conference opponents to less than 50% from two-point land. That's hard to do, guys. 10 of the 18 under 50%. That includes 9 of the last 12 conference opponents you held under 50% from the floor. So important, again, just do what you do and make Stanford do what it does and struggle from two and make them have to beat you from three-point land. Do you have a question?
Just that, who does Okori remind you of in the league?
Kingston Flemings.
but better stop and start. So his physical attributes are like Honor. You know how Honor's impossible for anybody to guard? Right. Teams just can't stay in front of him. Now, he may miss the shot when he gets by you, but you're not staying in front of him. That's what this guy's like, but finishes, is used to finishing inside the arc. So he's got those physical attributes, the athleticism of an Honor, fast and stop-start and quick and twitchy, but can finish just extremely well.
You know, he's an interesting story because he's from New Hampshire, Connecticut, or Massachusetts somewhere, and committed to Harvard.
Correct. And
committed to Harvard.
Then they went to him, and he was at Brewster Academy, which is a basketball factory. And they went to him, and they said, hey, I know you're going to go to Harvard, but you can play a higher level of basketball and get the same academic, curriculum. And so that got him there. And now it is an absolute, what's going to happen with this cat? Like, if he wants to sit this out and just put his name into the portal like today,
be great.
I'd be open for that. But like Stanford, if he stays at Stanford, Stanford's going to have to pay him $2 million or more. I don't know if they're where they are with that world, but if not, he can go anywhere he wants to go and make $2+ million next year.
Anywhere. Or
go to the NBA. There's going to be NBA scouts at this event because you got several NBA guys at this. Baylor's got its 2 guys. They've got a cat here as well. So there's some NBA guys.
This team in Stanford did not get to the free throw line very much, guys. 15th in the ACC in free throw attempt rate. So again, Hop, do what you do. Guard without fouling. Don't give them any freebies at the line. They are very good in transition when they decide to push. They're super efficient, but as you mentioned, they like to play it in the low 60s in terms of possessions. Great. Right where West Virginia wants to be in that particular side of things. Here's the last 4 seconds of the clock thing I was talking about. So let's watch this carefully on Thursday night. 11% of Stanford's possessions end in the final 4 seconds of the clock, and they're top 25% nationally in points per possession in those situations. They had 7 games this season with double-digit points in the final 4. They went 5-2 in those games. A lot of that is due to a Corey's shot-making ability, right? It's just like Honor. West Virginia is really good in the final 4 of the clock because Honor can make shots and get open at any point. That's why I think that's the comparison for a Corey, even though he's a guy with the ball in his hands more. Here's the specific stat to watch as you're listening to the game on Thursday. Stanford 3-0 on the season when a Corey gets 7 or more points in the final 4 seconds of the clock. So watch specifically how he is doing in late clock situation. If those shots are missing, good sign. If he's starting to make a couple, look out.
He's just watching some of his highlights. As you said, Brad, he has all phases. I mean, he can step back, and then when he goes to break down the defense, it looks like the defenders are in cement. I mean, he's that quick. He's really good.
Yep. Pick and roll. He's very good on the pick and roll. Stanford as a team was second in the ACC in points per possession off the pick and roll, 50th nationally. West Virginia's defense, though, guys, 3rd in the Big 12 and 35th nationally against the pick-and-roll ball handlers. Again, as we said, Jasper's elite and excels in that area. Harlan has been elite, especially down the stretch, in that drop coverage where he slows the guy coming off the screen, and then gets back to protect the big. So that's going to be important here, too. I mentioned they're very good in ISO. Again, a lot of this due to a Corey. Top 10 nationally points per possession in isolations situations. They can shoot it as well, 40% from 3 when they're unguarded on catch and shoots. And again, very good just in three-point land in general. They're top 20% of teams nationally in points that come from the three-point land, percentage of points. So 36% of their total points come from 3, more than a third. So you're going to have to guard the perimeter as well. They like threes off of offensive rebounds, Hoppy. Okay. 83rd percentile in three-point attempt rate off an offensive rebound. So West Virginia's got to control the glass, or they like to catch it, turn, and kick out. Most coaches love that. They say that's one of their favorite shots in basketball is a 3 off an offensive rebound. Got to protect the lane, as we talked about. They like shots in the lane, but they're not very good at it. So that's going to be a battle. They don't make a lot, as I just told you, but they do take a bunch. They like to put their bigs in the lane, and I'll just tell you now. I'm already going to lose my mind about 3 seconds in the lane.
What?
So just be prepared. They're going to camp in the lane. I'm going to say they should be getting 3-second calls, which I'm not even sure that's a violation anymore.
I'm sure the officials will watch.
I don't even know if that's called anymore.
Well,
but watch 3 seconds in the lane.
If it's called, it'd be the first time this season in any game.
Yeah, I think that we had it once. I think we had it twice this year.
Yeah, it's very rare.
Oh, yeah.
Well, call it in this one. Whoever the crew is, be ready. Defensively, they love to get steals. They have 3 players in the top 20% of all players nationally in steal percentage. They're excellent when they get those steals. Off live ball turnovers, 90th percentile nationally in points per chance. So you want an early key? There's one right there. Protect the basketball, which is always a West Virginia key. But if you're giving up live ball turnovers here, they're probably going to hurt you in that area. Let's go to the Pitt game where Pitt beat them there in the ACC tournament as they were a bubble team, and then Pitt slammed the door on that. Pitt spread them out defensively and then drove the ball right at him, got a bunch of rim shots with no help coming over defensively. Pitt scored 70% of its points in the paint in that game. West Virginia's been very good at that. Hop, what did we do when we did our film breakdown?
Yep.
You put Honor and Trey on the wings. What are they going to do? They have to make a decision. Are they going to hug up on them? Are they going to sag off? If they hug up on them, look for Belo and Harlow to be attacking inside the paint. Chance Moore, get him in some ISOs on that wing or diving to the basket. Pitt rebounded nearly 50% of its missed shots against Stanford in that game. So West Virginia's been pretty good on the offensive glass. Get in there and get after it. That's something to keep an eye on. 3-point defense. They're 100 spots better nationally in 3-point percentage defense than West Virginia is. But I just gave you that West Virginia stat. That stat's driven by a few poor games from West Virginia defensively, where the body of work shows you that's not really a true stat. Stanford is flipped. They're better when you look at it overall on a season basis as a one-liner. But if you dive down in, 12 ACC opponents shot better than 33% from Stanford from 3. So they had a couple games where they really had some 3-point luck where shots weren't going in. But for the bulk of the time, teams shot better than 33%, which is the benchmark you want to be. So keep an eye on that. That's about it.
That's a good breakdown.
2 arenas host this event. You play one place on Thursday, and if you win, you move to a different arena on Saturday, and then for Sunday for the championship.
I thought you.
Yeah, MGM to start, and then it goes to T-Mobile for the next 2 if you're
correct.
Where's T-Mobile? I know where MGM is.
Down the strip there somewhere. I don't know. Not far. You're right in the whole sphere, no pun intended.
Not going to play in the Sphere, are you?
I was thinking about going to the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere.
Is that still there, or are the Eagles there? Who's there now?
Eagles are there in the weekend, but they play the Wizard of Oz during the week.
I'd like to see that too. We'll see.
Yeah. Probably not.
Let's go play some games.
Probably not.
See what happens.
Roster
games.
Roster composition is super interesting nowadays in this world of basketball. Their starting center, A.J. Rahosi, 6'9", 230-pound grad student there at Stanford. Here's his road to get to Stanford.
Okay.
He's a walk-on and plays 1 game at Washington State as a freshman for Kyle Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Stays there the second year as a walk-on at Washington State, gets nominal action. Leaves Washington State, goes to Division III Claremont Mudd Scripps.
I'm sorry?
Claremont Mudd Scripps
I don't know that.
College in California.
Okay.
D3. Becomes a D3 All-American, double-doubles. Jumps from D3 up to this year. He goes to Stanford, and he becomes their starting center. So pretty wild. You normally don't see the D3 guy. Colorado had that dude, right? He was D3. Remember the big
Malone?
Yeah.
No,
Was he
like
D2?
an NAIA.
He was NAIA.
Yeah.
He was NAIA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, they got a couple of grad guys. They got a guy from Harvard that transferred from Harvard. A couple of transfers that you wouldn't.
Kyle Smith he's won wherever he's been.
Very good coach. Oh yeah, very good coach. Yeah.
Good matchup.
Utah State, one of the many guys that's won big at Utah State.
Yeah. He's done well. 3 Guys Before the Game is brought to us by Comax Business Systems. Keeping West Virginia businesses, their data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years and keeping them properly equipped. If it's time for your business to get a new phone system, by all means, give Comax a call. They have the state-of-the-art when it comes to phone systems and any size, what you may need. Basically, you have a discussion with them and say, this is what we're looking for. Here, we've got remote locations. We've got this office here. We got this office there. Give the folks at Comax a call. They'll pay you a visit and give you a free estimate and explain exactly what they can do for you. So if it's that time, if you're a business owner, contact the folks at Comax Business Systems. Visit comaxwv.com. That's comaxwv.com. You guys ready?
Ready.
Feel better and get some healing? This is textual healing. Textual Healing is brought to us by WVU Medicine, the exclusive healthcare provider for all Mountaineers, including you. That's right. WVU Medicine. I mean, you got to get healed, right? They're the team behind the team. And this reminder that if you're struggling with weight, and that can certainly feel overwhelming, you don't need to face it alone. WVU's Medicine Medical and Surgical Weight Loss Center offers proven surgical options and compassionate support to help you achieve lasting weight loss, better health. We'll guide you every single step of the way, personal planning to long-term success. If that's something that you've been thinking about, WVU Medicine has it for you. You can visit wvumedicine.org/bariatrics. wvumedicine.org/bariatrics. I wouldn't know how to spell it if it wasn't looking at me, so it's BARIATRICS. BARIATRICS, wvumedicine.org/bariatrics. And they'd be more than happy to help you. You did get script, did not get script on healing. I don't think Hoppy. Did I give you one, Hoppy? You got it too?
Brad gave it to him.
I gave it to him.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. I thought I printed 4. Anyway, next Tuesday, 3 guys is going to be on the road. So it'll be the month of April. We're going to be back, and we're going to do a on-live location show before the WVU baseball game against Marshall.
Oh, good. That'll be fun.
Looking forward to that.
That's what, April 7?
Correct. And we're going to be at the University Town Center one across from the ball yard.
Yes.
BW3, or Buffalo Wild Wings.
Buffalo
Yes.
Wild Wings across from the ball yard there. And it's going to be from 4 until 5:30. And the ball game goes probably at 6 that night. It's going to be West Virginia Marshall. We're going to have some special guests,
Okay.
but not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10.
Well, how many?
How about the women's basketball team?
The whole team.
The whole team?
Yeah, they're in.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's a big night.
It
WVU
is.
women's basketball team. We're going to honor them for their season and the unbelievable memories that they left us with.
Awesome.
And so the gang will be there. Now, we had Sydney and we
Sydney
had
and
Jordan.
Jordan.
Now, Hoppy wasn't here that day.
He was not.
So he'll get to meet him.
That's right.
That'd be great.
He'll get
Look
to meet
forward
him
that.
along
They're
with
great with the mic.
Yeah, Coach Kellogg, his staff. They'll all be front and center. And I think that's actually the day the portal opens. So
really?
The coaches will be like this. Like, I mean, they'll be all over
Yeah,
their
they'll be on their
phones.
phone.
But anyway, so we invite you to join us there. Buffalo Wild Wings, across from the baseball stadium, next Tuesday. What a night that could be. You just get in there early. I'd probably get in there about noon. I'd probably get in there about noon. And then just kind of hang out and then walk over. And when we're done, Hoppy's going to have trivia questions. We're going to might have a Nerf ball hoop so you can shoot against WVU women.
Tuesday, April 7th, 4 p.m., University Town Center, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, correct. That's correct.
All free of charge.
Well, what would you pay? Yeah, there's nothing to pay for. You
Awesome.
buy if you're not, they're not going to give you free food.
No.
You got to pay for that.
Admittance is free.
I bet you our girl Carrie's going to be there from Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, she'll.
It's a great event. Looking forward to that. And then the baseball game against Marshall, game 2
Across
of the
the street.
series. Game 2 of the series.
Yeah, they still got to go to Gomart Park eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
This is
Guys,
beautiful.
it's George from Mingo County. Senator, I knew you're giddy about Will Wade heading back to LSU. # clown show.
Amazing.
It is.
I know we talked about that on a show this season, and we called it early that he was going back before anyone knew it. And we've tried. Jumping Jack tried. I looked into transcripts, couldn't find. I wanted to bring it back and say, hey, we told you. But anyway, couldn't find it.
That's just it. I shouldn't be shocked because that's the world in which we live now.
Well, that's our next text. He says, hey, guys, Will Wade to LSU, NC State's athletics director, says he felt lied to after Wade left. Really?
Oh.
What did he expect? Man, college athletics, just wild.
If you, I think it's in the book Kim by Rudyard Kipling. If the snake, if you harass the snake and the snake bites you, it's not the snake's fault. So if you get into
Solid.
If you're going to go that direction, don't be surprised if the guy leaves you hanging.
Here's the thing, though, guys. We should not be surprised about anything that happens. Again, we started the show with a discussion with the West Virginia baseball coach out in Arizona from a conference game, right?
Yes.
And as we've said, Rich is returned as the head football coach here. Like, everything's on the table.
Anything's in play.
Yeah, everything's in table, so not surprised.
But not surprised, but the difference is, I mean, I just read a piece about Wade this morning. He not only cheated, he was a bad cheater. I mean, he got caught. It was a wiretap. It was like paying somebody, just like really bad, just not good stuff.
Some may have construed his operation as a bit overt. Yeah.
Or he was just ahead of the times.
Yeah.
Visionary.
Bud in Lexington writes.
Whatever.
Bud in Lexington writes, Ross Hodge show, ! Absolutely excellent. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I thought Ross Boss was pretty good.
Excellent.
He was really good.
Very good.
Texter says, this is Uncle Chuck. Fantastic episode with Coach Hodge. Also a ton of respect for Amir Jenkins and the fortitude he showed this season. The future is bright for Mountaineer basketball. We recently told you about a young 10-year-old by the name of Caden Gillespie from Grafton. He's battling childhood cancer. Really super neat event last week. Grafton was playing Lincoln baseball, and Caden was able to make it out to the game. And there's a player on the Lincoln team by the name of Max Abruzzino, who's a catcher. He also had battled childhood cancer, and Caden was diagnosed with a form of lymphoma back in February, released from the hospital to make it to the game, and threw the first pitch to Max.
Nice.
That's awesome.
All proceeds going into striking out childhood cancer. And now there's over 2,000 stickers that other teams have been distributed across, so we wish him the very best.
That's neat. Good news.
Texter, hey, Tony Bread Hop. I drive for Uber in the Charleston area from time to time, and I picked up a passenger heading to the airport. Got to small talking with him a little, and he tells me he's from Ontario, Canada, and he heard country roads randomly on the radio up there. After looking up West Virginia online, seeing gorgeous pictures from across the state, he decided to take a week's vacation to come see for himself. Said he absolutely had a blast here, couldn't just get over how nice everyone was and who he had an interaction with. Ending with a prepositional phrase. I tried my best to talk him into coming back down during football and heading up to Morgantown.
Yeah.
We'll see how that'll work. Keep up the great work. Always looking forward to the next episode. Have a blessed day. James B. from Ripley. He's your local Uber Lyft driver.
See him at the, maybe he'll come in for the tailgate.
Sure, we'd love to have him.
Yeah.
Had a situation at the ballpark where West Virginia played this weekend. A Mothman sighting at Sun Devils ballpark.
Oh, my.
Could be a momentous development for the Mountaineers. There he was. Front and center on top of that scoreboard.
Mothman. Taking in road games.
Yeah. Texter. This is deep, so Hoppy, I want you to follow this one.
Okay.
This is from Yogi Chris in Salt Lake City. It has been a while since I have listened because it hurts. If you are listening to this podcast, you love West Virginia. We are a tribe unlike any other. Know when things get tough, Mountaineers don't quit. We are special. We love when it hurts. Sitting in Salt Lake City at Sir Charles Wesley Godwin's show. You have a song to sing. Get off your butt and sing it before it is too late. Make our country proud. Make West Virginia proud. Remember, we have more in common than we don't. Love, live, achieve. Sing your song. Let's go, Mountaineers. From Yogi Chris.
Yeah, well said. Sense of community that comes from being a West Virginian.
Good to see Chuck recently. He was at the women's game.
Was he?
Yeah. Charles was there front and center. Had a daddy date with his young lady.
Very good.
Yeah. Texter, better tell Brad to stock up now before we hit a shortage or Big Candy jacks the prices up. Do you hear this situation, guys?
I did.
A truck was carrying 12 tons or over 400,000 bars of Kit Kat chocolate was stolen, traveling from Italy to Poland, leaving both the vehicle and its cargo missing and prompting an investigation by Nestle and authorities.
How about that?
The company did warn the theft could lead to temporary shortages, especially ahead of Easter, and noted the stolen products may appear in unofficial markets, though they can be tracked using unique batch codes.
Two things.
Yes.
As first reported, I told you there was heavy production of Kit Kats a year and a half ago. Told you, right?
Yes, you did.
Number two, I actually saw a statement from the company that said, this is amazing. This also tells you how much production there is, also as first reported, that there is no problem with the distribution markets here. This will be fine. There will be no shortages. They have so many.
Oh, wow. I would have liked to have been in that meeting of the gang that's plotting their next robbery when the guy stands up and says, now hear me out. I know we focus on like televisions and various things, but Kit Kats, okay? Kit Kats. Nobody's expecting that. And there's a big market. Probably like ship it over somewhere where they don't have Kit Kats. Did they ever come up with them?
No, they're still on the loose.
Efforting.
I just noticed I pasted one of these in here, and I can't use it right now, so skip to the next one.
Okay.
Because I need to confirm with the guy how he wants that to be done.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
I could have ruined something big there. Texter, baseball now. Gavin Kelly has a gun for an arm. Single-handedly killed a rally with a seed throw to third and a save of a dirt and a bomb throw to second. Would you agree that we now own Pittsburgh area recruiting for baseball? I tell you what, Steve Sabins took a shot at him. Did you see Steve get interviewed during the game yesterday? And they asked him about that.
What did he say?
And he just, well, we own. I mean, that's bad. We own that area. He didn't. He may not have said that verbatim, but basically indicated like, yeah, West Virginia is Pittsburgh. We take all the players there. We take all the players. Obviously. Hey, Jake, can you show me the picture of that young man standing in front of his locker? A lot of people may have seen this last week, but that is J.J. Weatherholt as was that fifth grade? Holding up what he was going to fourth grade that's what he was going to be when he grows up, an MLB player.
Yeah, the Mars School District put that out and had the name of the teacher that found that picture there on career day with that little chalkboard there. It might be hard to see, but yeah, what are you going to be when you grow up?
That's awesome.
A lot of kids put that down there, Hoppy.
Yep.
He came through with it. Pretty awesome.
Few have the unbelievable gift of athleticism, and then, more importantly, the determination to get through it and do it.
And also, I thought it was interesting. And you guys know him better than I do, but we've had him on the program and met him. He's just, and as Coach Sabins said, I mean, just you got to be in the right headspace, guys, right, to be able to deal with that stuff. Yes.
I'm trying to see if I didn't forget anything else. Okay, one last one.
Sure?
Joey B. Probably did. Joey B. in Princeton, West Virginia. Always a West Virginia connection. After the NASCAR race this weekend in Martinsville, we met a man that works for NASCAR from Welch, West Virginia. He gave us a "Let's Go Mountaineers." Thought you guys would think that was cool. We do, Joey. We do. All right.
Next Tuesday, April 7, 4 p.m., Buffalo Wild Wings, University Town Center.
Yeah, women's team will be there.
Are you going to be here next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Will you guys be here?
How about his deal? Yeah. Like stunned. Like why would we? Well, not that you've ever missed.
Well, wait a minute. You guys are getting ready to go on I don't know. Speaking of road trips, you guys are taking off tomorrow. Who knows when you'll be back? I hope it's a long time because I want the Mountaineers to keep playing.
Mm-hmm.
So when's the earliest? No. When's the latest you might be back?
Next Tuesday morning, I guess, right? No, I'm sorry. Monday would be the earliest. The latest. That would be the latest.
Thursday, Friday, Sunday.
Thursday, Friday, Sunday.
You could come home Sunday. You don't know.
Okay. Well, have a great trip. We'll be listening. It's 8 o'clock Eastern, I think, on Thursday.
Correct. That's correct.
Okay.
First game of 2 that night.
Right.
Our good friends from Rutgers will be there. We got familiar buddies at Rutgers. Our friends from Baylor. Mm-hmm. Our friends from Colorado.
Right.
Mm-hmm. They're all going to be there. Who else do we know that's going to? Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's there.
Oklahoma is there.
Do you know the announcer for Duke? Do you know him?
Yes, casually I do.
Okay, that he was calling for them. It should be a technical foul. They came off the bench.
Yeah, he got ripped for saying that. That's something probably I would have done.
Oh, would have been right there. I would have gone on a lot longer than the Duke guy did. Please, got no criticism for him on that.
Yeah, he let it go.
What a finish! What a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes the shot goes in.
Would you agree? I wrote this to some buddies today. I think basketball, this is debatable, basketball is the sport that has the most brutal finality of all sports. And I said this. It's debatable. I'm not sure there's a sport with the brutal finality of basketball. You can go from offense to defense in a split second. It can provide unbridled joy or the breathtaking gut punch.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball, you normally load guys on bases and you can kind of feel it unless it's just a solo walk-off. The only other sport I think would be hockey, that you can go from offense to defense. But like on football, you have to be normally on offense. So basketball is that one. Well, you saw it yesterday. Ball gets turned over, and in a split second, you go from defense, you're on offense, and game's over, and you go like, what just happened to me? That's what makes the thing.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Tony, because it's the pace at which fortunes can change.
Yes. Football is a tsunami. Like when a team a team is like driving the ball, like you feel like everything is a cut. It's 1,000 cuts. You can feel it and feel it. And
the pit in your stomach is there for a while. That yesterday for Duke, you are celebrating,
breathless.
And maybe you're holding your breath a little bit. But what? And Duke just with some epic collapses over the last couple of years. You remember last year in the national semifinals, they were up 6 with under a minute to go, like 9 with a minute and a half to go.
Yeah.
Lost that game. They also blew, what else did they lose? The Elite 8 game, they had a 9-point lead in 2024. They yacked that as well. They're on a historic run of yaks.
They are. Now, let me just also point this out. And I was thinking of this yesterday. Teams lose leads. It's not just West Virginia. Teams lose leads.
19.
Yeah. Now, yesterday's was the greatest in the history of the tournament. Number 1 seeds were 134-0 all time when they led by 15 points or more at halftime. Wow. So that never happened before yesterday. However, it's a game of runs. It's a team. So we oftentimes, well, all of us do, right? We hyper-focus when it happens to us, but it happens. Like basketball is a spurt game. It's a run game. And hopefully the spurts go West Virginia's way here in Las Vegas.
I just gave you 3 for one team.
I get it. I understand.
2 of them to get to a Final Four.
I understand.
2 of those in the last 2 seasons to get to a Final Four. The other one happened in the Final Four to get to a World Championship.
And one other point.
That is some hard stuff. That's in 3 years with John Shire. That's all 3 under Shire. He's been the coach for 3 years. Amazing to get to 2 Elite Eights and a Final Four. So you take that. But that is 3 unbelievable yaks in that situation, back to back to back.
Yeah.
And wow.
Here's another thing.
Yeah.
And I sent a text to you guys yesterday about this. How hard is it to get to the Final Four? Do you see the teams that don't make it? Like you take, and it can happen again like this. Iowa State loses Joshua Jefferson 3 minutes into their opening round game. He never comes back in the tournament. So this team and this program and this fan base that had this like unbelievable dream, like this is the year we crack it, we go to the Final Four, that ends like that.
Built for this year.
Yeah. Yes.
They put some extra money behind this roster for that reason to get to a championship.
Yeah.
And it was 242. He went down.
Yeah, 242.
So there's 17:42 on the clock, less than that, 228, whatever.
So, and then Texas Tech, JT Toppin, it ends for you like that. And then all of these other super good teams, you're not going anywhere. You're not getting out of the second weekend. It's hard. So you look back on it, and you really, truly do appreciate the runs that West Virginia has gone on, whether that be when John Beilein was here, whether that was when Huggs was here and you made it all the way to the Final Four. Like, you look at that and go like, gosh, dang, you cherish those moments.
Well, or even go back to 98 with Coach Catlin. Here's why I say that. So Iowa's had a pretty consistent program over time, right? Under Fran McCaffrey, they made a bunch of NCAA tournaments. They were playing to go to a Final Four for the first time since 1980. Ronnie Lester, Bobby Hansen, coached by Lute Olson in 1980. They hadn't been to a Sweet 16 since 99, Hoppy, until this year. And I thought this year's really highlighted this tournament. So take those numbers from just Iowa for a second in their first year with Ben McCollum. That's a team that was 500 in their league. They were 9-9 in the conference. I mean, people thought they were having a good year, but they weren't. Oh, my God, Ben McCollum's the second coming. And they get hot, right? And they get some good matchups, and they advance on, and they were leading at half to go to the Final Four for the first time, but it had been since 1980.
Wow.
And no Sweet 16s. So how many Sweet 16s had West Virginia been since that time frame, right? Went to one in 98, then how many others since then with Coach Beeline and Hugs? A ton of them. Illinois, great basketball program, tremendous tradition. Hadn't been to a Sweet 16 since 05. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Final Four since 05. Final Four since 05.
Yeah.
So how long is that? 21 years?
Yeah. It's hard.
It's
hard. It's just freaking hard.
That's why you appreciate it. And that's why when you win those games, the euphoria is like unlike anything else because it is hard to advance in that thing.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. Thanks very much, everyone, for being with us. Again, we remind you that we're going to be on location next Tuesday at Buffalo Wild Wings at the University Town Center across from the Kendrick Family Ballpark in advance of West Virginia and Marshall. And that game goes at 6 p.m. We're going to be there from 4 until 5:30. Hoppy will be singing some of his favorite songs.
No, not singing, but I'll be there.
We're doing trivia. We're just going to have a big time.
Women's basketball team will be there.
Yep.
Looking forward to that.
Now, is that Golden Blue Enterprise making that happen?
I would think so.
Golden Blue Enterprise. Those are our boys. Those are our buds.
They take care of it.
Yeah, they'll take care of it. 3 Guys Before the Game brought to us by Gomart. Get yourself that Gomart app, download it, save on food and fuel. By Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. By Tudor's Biscuit World, start your day the homemade way with a Tudor's Biscuit. By Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. By Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law, they won't take no for an answer. By Conley CPA Group, providing value beyond numbers. And by WVU Medicine, the exclusive healthcare provider for all Mountaineers, including you. Hey, if you're going to the games in Vegas, stop by and say hello to us. Senator will just be prancing up and down the strip, waving, doing stuff.
You'll be.
Should be a fun trip.
Should be a fun trip. Hopefully West Virginia.
Look for Tony at the Sphere.
No, look for Tony at a food establishment. You know, I was there last April. One of the two of the world's best pizza places are in Vegas.
The rap on Vegas now is prices have gotten out of control.
Stupid.
Heard that.
Ridiculous.
Like coffee, like $12 or something.
Yeah, just ridiculous. Stupid. Yeah, that's what it is. All right, we're out. Special thanks to Jake, our producer. See you.